Freedom Now movement, hear me. We are requesting all citizens to move into Washington. Go by plane, car, bus, any way that you can get there. Walk if necessary.
Positive Spin. Presenting positive, innovative, and solution-oriented news from around the world.
You know what is a panorama?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On today's program, we premiere the film on the Zen pilot's worldwide flight for peace.
Since 83 years, Georgia became a Russian empire.
You know, a long time ago, that's what Socrates said. He could have said anything, but what he actually said is know thyself.
And we'll hear an interview with Global Peace Ambassador and best-selling author, Prem
Why
Rawat.
are we not paying any?
And so when we found the cure and were allowed to go outside,
Then we'll see the short film entitled The Great Realization by Tomfoolery.
old habits became extinct.
Finally, we'll hear the original song United by J.D. Shultz. Positive Spin is proud to present the premiere of the short film Citizen of the World. The film documents Robert DeLaurentis' historic world peace expedition using biofuel between the North Pole and the South Pole.
The essence of exploration and adventure is ultimately found in how we affect change for global peace. In early November 2019, I set out from San Diego, California in a twin-turbine Commander 900 to attempt a pole-to-pole aviation first in an aircraft of this type. The journey comprises 26 nations across 6 continents. I'm also the first pilot to utilize only biofuels over the poles, and I'm carrying 2 state-of-the-art experiments from NASA and the Scripps Institute of Oceanography. One represents the future of space travel, and the other tests for atmospheric plastic pollutions across the globe. My mission is comprised of world firsts, important science, and most importantly, peace. From 35,000 feet, you see the world from an awe-inspiring lens. While on the ground, you learn from others what it means to be a citizen of the world, through their eyes, through their hard work, and their love for humanity. I've encountered many challenges from land, sea, and air. As the mission took me through South America, the South Pole, across the Atlantic, Africa, Asia, Europe, the North Pole, and back to North America, I found more similarities than differences amongst people. We collectively share a desire for family, love, compassion, safety, peace, and health, no matter what our religion, politics, or ethnicity. So what we wanted to do is talk to people in each country that I visit and ask them, what does it mean to be a citizen of the world? What does it mean for you, Carmen?
Okay, I guess for me, being a citizen of the world is being aware that you are part of more than just your family, your neighborhood, this town where you live. Being aware that you are part of the whole world. And because of that, everything you do and everything you don't do affects all of us, because we are like a huge family, not just a small one.
So what one piece of advice would you have for everyone? Everyone who's watching, everybody who competes, everybody who wants to bring the world closer together?
Que todo es posible. Todo es posible si tú te lo propones. Si tienes un corazón que late con pasión, si te entrenas con disciplina, si quieres inspirar a tu familia, si tienes un propósito por el planeta, por la vida, entonces contigo misma, todo es posible, está en tu mente, en tu dedicación, en tu disciplina, todo es posible, todos podemos ser Iron Man, todos. Yo soy una mamá, tengo 45 años, tengo 2 hijos, soy una Iron Man.
know what's really interesting to me is the name of my plane is the Citizen of the World. But you guys are citizens of the world as well because you're traveling to different countries, you're competing or sharing your passion with people from Russia, from the Czech Republic, from Poland, from Canada. And it's this common bond. It doesn't matter the language, but you're sharing in that passion the things that are important to you as human beings.
My passion is forever. I not change my passion. I not change my family. I not change this life, pure life. This is the best in the valley. I like so much coming here, young people, children. Maybe the children is the future. This is my destiny.
Your destiny
is to connect good people.
So Flavio, if the dream of flight is possible for all these people, is the dream of peace possible as well?
Yes. Eu acho que a paz está dentro da gente. Toda vez que a gente faz alguma coisa que nos conecte com a natureza, com a nossa natureza, alguma coisa que já esteja impresso no nosso sentimento, né, que nos realize como ser humano, como pessoas que vençam seus limites, que vençam seus medos, né, a gente fica mais próximo da nossa totalidade enquanto pessoas. Então eu, por exemplo, eu mudei completamente a minha forma de ver o mundo quando comecei a voar. Foi um sentimento muito forte em mim, assim, eu sempre tive assim um desejo de auxiliar outras pessoas nisso. Por isso que eu fiz disso a minha profissão, para eu passar esse sentimento adiante e ver que as pessoas se realizam através do voo livre.
You know, one of the things we're noticing is with people, if they have peace inside, they can offer peace to the world.
Yes.
And it's the same thing with respect.
So my favorite thing about the Zulu culture, it is about the respect. Because of everything, we believe that everything or every Zulu nation, it is all about the respect.
Basically, humanity is joined together by these causes, and it could be some that you mentioned. It could be nuclear proliferation, it could be pollution on the planet, plastic islands, and at that point it doesn't matter, you know, what your color, your religion, what your financial, you know, socioeconomic class is. You've got to join together as humans for a common good or cause.
When I was studying law, I learned about our Bill of Rights, our Constitution, and Nelson Mandela had a huge part to play with that. He believed in non-violence, in the transition of people from apartheid to where we are right now. And that is very dear to me because Mahatma Gandhi is like the father of the Indian nation. And he believed in Satyagraha, which means a peaceful protest, which is very similar to what Nelson Mandela believed. He believed in Africa or South Africa where people built a community together based on understanding and peace and love, not violence at all, which is what Mahatma Gandhi also stood for. That was what his entire concept in life was. He was the father of the nation. He said, love each other. You know, love each other and give back.
I think we need to come together as one people. If we look at this property and how we're trying to protect it, it's exactly how the traditional people before used this land. So we, in essence, are going back to what they were doing originally. You know, in some ways, I always like to say that we're going through this whole cycle to realize that the traditional cultures were right. That's how we should have been living. And I think what's nice about this is that it's a positive story. What we've done here is we've taken something that was degraded and we've rehabilitated and built it into something that's amazing. I mean, you saw when we drove down there, those herds of animals that were there, the wildebeest, the giraffe, the zebra, and they all had babies. Yeah. You know, they're breeding, and to see the changes, I mean, when you come past in the morning, it actually can take your breath away because now it's becoming a wild area. And 3 years ago, it was pineapple farms with plastic bags all over. It's incredible how quickly nature can come back.
Nature Kenyan believes that a sustainably managed environment is the best avenue for peace building. Imagine a world without carbon dioxide, a world without climate change, a world without hunger, a world where people have access to energy, a world where there are no inequities because of the way resources have been moved. It's a peaceful world. There will be no need for conflict.
You know what is a panorama?
Yeah.
Yes? This is a symbol friendship between Russia and Georgia. So, since 83 years, Georgia became Russian Empire. 200 years, Georgia was under Russian royal family, Romanov. After 200 years, exactly in the 1983 years, our nations, Georgians and Russians, decided to build like symbol between the nations, between our nations, Russians and Georgians. And it's symbol friendship of nations, not politics, without politics.
You'll become a citizen of the world in the process of being a pilot. What does it mean to you to be a citizen of the world?
Citizen of the world, I think that I have to try to make the world a better place with my work and with my love to my work, and so I have to inspire people to not to give up in their dreams. That's why I'm part of the world.
In February, the COVID-19 outbreak quarantined me in Spain. Sometimes I feel this dream to circumnavigate the Earth via the poles would never be fully realized. Yet despite the difficulties, I've seen the world unite as one global family to rediscover their greatest strengths, to share peace and love, and to overcome the seemingly insurmountable challenges that life throws our way. September 21st, 2020, we celebrate the United Nations International Day of Peace and newly proclaimed Citizen of the World Day. These two causes are intertwined and they celebrate our individual and collective powers to shape peace together. In the one shared world in which we live, it is a special reminder that we are all global citizens, and when we use our courage and compassion in our daily lives, we help end violence and strengthen peaceful relationships worldwide for the good of our collective humanity. One planet, one people, one plane, oneness for humanity.
Prem Rawat is a global peace ambassador whose peace education program is having a positive impact on people's lives around the world. In the following segment, we'll see an interview with Prem Rawat in South Africa.
Of our young people who have been through the peace education program in Soweto for the first time.
Peace education program is a program whereby they teach you about peace, the fundamental of peace, courage, humanity as a whole.
I didn't understand it at first because I thought maybe it's something huge, it's something that needs to be given to myself, to me. But now I have knowledge about peace. I know that peace you don't have to get from somebody, you have it yourself. It's something that's inside you.
I wanted to do something different and know more about peace. So I was curious actually. What is peace? What does the Prem Rawat was talking about?
Well, there you have it. We're talking some peace this morning. Renowned peace teacher and speaker Prem Rawat joins us from our Sea Point studio in Cape Town, where he will be speaking about humanity's natural state of peace. He's in South Africa speaking at two events, one in the mother city and the other one here in Johannesburg. Prem, a very good morning to you and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much indeed for coming through. Now, you've traveled the world for over 4 decades, inspiring people to find peace within themselves. Are you happy with the state of the world currently in terms of people having inner peace?
Well, if I was, I would have retired a long time ago. In fact, I see that people really need to understand what peace is more and more. There's a complete divergence from themselves. What people are starting to look at is understand everything else except who they are. And when there's this complete separation from a person themselves, that they don't know who they are, there's going to be problems. And the problems that we are seeing around the world are that the human beings don't have any respect for the fellow human being. They're ready to kill them, they're ready to cheat them, they're ready to rob them, they're ready to do everything else to them, except accept them as another human being who is sharing this planet Earth, and to give them the respect that people deserve, to have the human dignity. I mean, where is human dignity today?
But why is it difficult for people to find peace within themselves?
Because they're not looking at themselves, they're looking at everything else. They think it's going to be their car that's going to bring them peace, their job that's going to bring them peace. They're looking at the skies and they're saying that maybe someday an angel will drop down from the skies and then bring them peace. They're looking at everything else except for themselves for peace. And they are the resource for their own peace.
So you're basically saying that it should start with an introspection before getting to a place where one can say that I do have that inner peace.
You know, it's like that saying goes, where you keep looking for something, where do you find it? Well, the last place you look, because after you find it, you just stop looking. And I think if people were to look at themselves and to try to understand that peace is within them, peace doesn't have to be manufactured. Peace doesn't have to come from other things. Other things are not the source of that peace, that they are the catalyst and they are the containers of peace, and that peace is within them. Then I think that's the first step.
Okay. Now, there is a huge economic gap, particularly in our country, between the rich and the poor. Now, is it for the rich to see peace in helping the poor to close this gap?
Who created the gap? Who created the gap? This gap has been created by people. The greed takes over. That is not a true human nature. This nature exists, but it is not the true human nature. The true human nature is to have peace and to really help each other, to be on this planet Earth, to understand its importance, how important it is that we are on this earth, and that to take care of each other. I mean, we're looking at other places. We're looking at life in other planets. We're looking at, searching for life in just millions and millions and millions of places. But we're not looking at life where it is, where we know it is. It's guaranteed, it's certified, it's here. And why are we not taking care of our problems? Why are the chasms between people becoming bigger and bigger? There's economics in this world, there's education in this world, there's politics in this world, but the chasms between them are becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, and people are falling into these chasms. And this is what's happening in this world because there is no true understanding of the self. A long time ago, that's what Socrates said. He could have said anything, but what he actually said is know thyself. Very, very clearly. Know thyself. Why are we not paying any attention to ourselves? This is the question.
Well, I suppose that's the big question, but thank you very much for your time this morning.
Very, very welcome, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much indeed. A pleasure to have you as well here on Morning Live this morning. Well, that's Prem Rawat. He is a renowned peace teacher and a speaker. He is in Cape Town on the 13th of May, and on the 16th of May, he's here in Johannesburg. Tickets went on sale from the 18th of April, talking about peace. Ripa Hodzo, Morning Live continues after this. Stay tuned.
The Great Realization by Tomfoolery is a story of how the world evolved to where it is today and how 2020 can be a turning point to a new world.
Tell me the one about the virus again, then I'll go to bed.
But my boy, you're growing weary, sleepy thoughts about your head.
Please, that one's my favourite. I promise just once more.
Okay, snuggle down, my boy, though I know you know full well. The story starts before then, in a world I once would dwell. It was a world of waste and wonder, of poverty and plenty, back before we understood why hindsight's 2020. You see, the people came up with companies to trade across all lands, but they swelled and got much bigger than we ever could have planned. We'd always had our wants, but now it got so quick. You could have anything you dreamed of in a day, and with a click. We noticed families had stopped talking. That's not to say they never spoke, but the meaning must have melted, and the work-life balance broke. And the children's eyes grew squarer, and every toddler had a phone. They filtered out the imperfections, but amidst the noise, they felt alone. And every day the skies grew thicker, till you couldn't see the stars. So we flew in planes to find them, while down below, we filled our cars. We'd drive around all day in circles. We'd forgotten how to run. We swapped the grass for tarmac, shrunk the parks till there were none. We filled the sea with plastic, because our waste was never capped, until each day when you went fishing you'd pull them out, already wrapped. And while we drank and smoked and gambled, our leaders taught us why. It's best to not upset the lobbies, more convenient to die. But then in 2020, a new virus came our way. The governments reacted and told us all to hide away. But while we all were hidden, amidst the fear, and all the while, the people dusted off their instincts. They remembered how to smile. They started clapping to say thank you, and calling up their mums. And while the car keys gathered dust, they would look forward to their runs. And with the skies less full of voyagers, the earth began to breathe, and the beaches bore new wildlife that scuttled off into the seas. Some people started dancing. Some were singing, some were baking. We'd grown so used to bad news, but some good news was in the making. And so when we found the cure, and were allowed to go outside, we all preferred the world we found to the one we'd left behind. Old habits became extinct, and they made way for the new, and every simple act of kindness was now given its due.
But why did it take a virus to bring the people back together?
Well, sometimes you've got to get sick, my boy, before you start feeling better. Now lie down and dream of tomorrow, and all the things that we can do. And who knows, if you dream hard enough, maybe some of them will come true. We now call it the Great Realization. And yes, since then there have been many. But that's the story of how it started, and why hindsight's 2020.
If you look at the camera, they know someone's filming it because they can see you.
Exactly. If you look at the camera, they know someone's filming it. Okay, lie back down.
Wait, can I just practice right now?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I was just trying to relive the best bits of my day.
In our final segment, we feature the music video United by musician and artist J.D. Shultz, aka Human Brother.
I wished we all communicated.
Thank you for watching Positive Spin. This show is made possible through the generosity of the Patty and Jack Wright Foundation. Watch and subscribe to our previous episodes on YouTube. And please, like us on Facebook. Watch us on Free Speech TV, Dish Network, DirecTV, Roku, Sling, and Apple TV. I'm Bill McCarthy. Please practice your fundamental right to vote for unity and our future generations. And remember, everyone can go out and make some positive news.